uSenzo yayinhle relationship phakathi kwabo babili.
Engakusho ukuthi babethandana in reference to leyo malobola angiboni ukuthi into ekhona leyo ngoba uSenzo wayengekaza lobole engagcilile kumandisa ukuthi ufuna uthatha umfazi wesibili lokho ke ngangizokwazi so leyo malobolo nje ayikho lonto.
What I can say is that they loved each other, but what I'm not gonna agree with is the issue of the lobola negotiations. That there is no such. There is no way that Senzo would have gone on to negotiate lobola without having asked Mandisa for consent to take a second wife, and I would have known about it. So there is no such.
Okay. Let's move on. As a friend, closest person to the deceased, do you know what was the kind of the relationship, if there was any, between the deceased and Mr. Longwe Thwala?
Uma kuukuthi ayikhona babukhona ubudlelano babukhona phakathi kwakhe umufi kanye nayo uLongwe Thwala ingabe uyabazi yini ukuthi kwakuubudlelano obunjani?
If you know of any.
Uma kuukuthi uyazi.
As a friend of the deceased.
Nanjengomngani wakhe umufi.
Engingakusho lapho ukuthi kuzoba nzima ukuthi ngazi ngoba uLongwe ngangamazi mina ngimazi ngoba nakho sekushona uSenzo or sekunelanga lokushona kaSenzo ukuthi thana no Zandile so i friendship between uSenzo no Longwe angiyazi engikwazi nje ukuthi babejole endlini eyodwa.
There it would be difficult because I don't know Longwe, or I didn't know Longwe. I only got to know Longwe on the day of Senzo's demise, and the only thing that I know is that they were dating in the same house.
Okay. Inside the house when Mr. Longwe Thwala arrived, did you see what was the reaction of the deceased when he saw Mr. Longwe Thwala entering the house?
Ngabelela ngake uma kungena uLongwe ngaba wayibona yini reaction yakhe umufi uma noma ngenkathi abona uLongwe.
Babingelelana uLongwe wangena uSenze ngaphandle if ngikhumbula kahle so wathi mayengena uLongwe wena isehleli ngaphakathi uSenzo wangena ebuya noKelly from ngaphandle babingelelana nje ngisho babingelelana baqhawulana futhi if I'm not mistaken. Wahlala phansi so nganganakile kakhulu reaction yakhe ngikhumbula nje nimbuzo ukuthi kimanga uthi
they greeted each other, and when Senzo came in, or when Longwe came in, Senzo was outside. Then Senzo came in together with Kelly. They greeted each other, and if I'm not mistaken, they shook hands. So I didn't take note of the reaction. I then asked him, witness mentioned it in Sesotho. I then asked, who is the gentleman?
Okay, when the struggle took place inside the house, did you see the actions of Longwe if he was protecting the deceased?
When the
scuffle,
okay.
When the scuffle took place, especially when the intruder entered inside the house, did you see if Mr. Longwe Thwala tried to protect the deceased, or how was Mr. Thwala's movement inside the house towards the deceased? Protection?
Ngaphakathi-ke endlini ingabe ungathi uLongwe kwakuwumuntu owayemvikela noma ezama ukuvikela umufi ngale nkathi-ke lesikafu lesi senzeka phakathi endlini?
Hayi cha uLongwe yona oqala wasuka waphuma wabaleka.
Longwe was the first one to stand up and to run out, so he never defended or protected anyone.
Okay, so he didn't take care of anyone who was inside the house. He just ran out and left all of you.
Wanishiya nonke ngaphakathi akazange nake noyedwa ongaphakathi wanishiya nonke.
Yebo kuyiqiniso lo.
Yes, that's true.
In hospital you testified that there was a fight from Mandisa's friends with Miss Kelly Khumalo. Remember that?
Ushilo-ke nokuthi esibhedlela kwakune fight yayikhona-ke phakathi kwabangani bakaMandisa kanye naye uKelly.
Yebo.
Yes.
Do you know what was the fight about?
Uyazi ukuthi i-fight lena yayingani?
I think waphela kwabangani baMandisa knowing ukuthi ngoba sekwenzeke lento eyensekile kuSenzo mhlambe nabo kwabe ukuhluthwa kwenhliziyo ngoba vele ngiyacabanga ukuthi babengayingeni babengamthandi uKelly.
Maybe because it is Mandisa's friends and this had happened to Senzo, maybe it's just that it was that emotions ran high and they didn't like Kelly.
and mhlawumbe abanye bekuvuka amanye ama minutes because mawukhumbula kahle ukuthi no Kelly no Zandi bake bamhlasela uMandisa.
Okay, maybe there were some other agendas that then came to the fore, because if you remember well, Kelly and Zandile once attacked Mandisa.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mthokozisi. Let's go back now into the house. Okay. It is your evidence that Mr. Longwe Thwala. Okay, before I go there, my lord, I'm sorry. Can I just rephrase? When the first intruder came in, did he point you with the firearm, or did he just demand the cell phone? What was the action movement of the intruder?
Uma ngabe lo woqala ke kulabo ababili abangena endlini esengena ke endlini ngaba wanikhomba yini ngesibhamu noma wafuna nje kuphela ama cell phone nemali?
Wafuna ama cell phone nemali kodwa isibhamu sasibona kodwa ke ekhaya isikhombe kuyena.
He just demanded cell phones and money, but he didn't point the firearm at anyone, but we saw the firearm, but it wasn't pointed at anyone.
Okay. And there is no cell phone that was robbed or taken at that time when he demanded money and cell phone.
Ngaleso sikhathi leso ke afuna ama cell phones kanye nemali, ayikho i cell phone eyathathwa ngaleso sikhathi leso.
At that point?
Yes.
No.
Okay. At any stage, did you see any cell phone? If there is any cell phone that was taken in your presence, robbed in your presence?
Ikhona ya cell phone ke uma sekuqhubekeka ke sekuhamba isikhathi, ikhona i cell phone eyathathwa noma wayibona wena ithathwa?
Mina ngisakhona endlini cha yikho.
No, when I was still in the house, no, there isn't any.
Okay. And when you were inside in the house when the first shot was fired, and when the second shot was fired, you were not there?
Ubungaphakathi ke endlini uma sikhoma kokuqala isibhamu, uma sesikhoma kokwesibili ubungasekho ngaphakathi endlini.
Yebo kuqinisa la.
Yes, that's true.
And you cannot be able to tell this court who fired the shot that killed the deceased.
Futhi awungeke ke ukwazike noma kube kusona ke isimo sokuthi uyichazeleke lenkantolo ukuthi ubani owaqhumisa isibhamu leso ke esashaya ke noma sabulala umufi.
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa ukuthi uthini. Yeah.
Yes, I hear what you say.
No, just answer the question. You cannot. You did not see.
Yeah.
You were outside.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, sokuqala saqhuma ngisendlini. So naso sokuqala ngazi noma isona yini, but angazi lapho ukuthi nami angengize ngisho ukuthi lesokuqala lesiphi. Yes.
The first shot went off, I was in the house, but yes, I cannot say whether that was the shot or which one. So yes, I don't know.
And specifically with the second one, when you were outside, you did not see who fired shot, whether it was Kelly Khumalo who fired shot. You did not see that.
Ikakhulukazi ke lesi esesibili ukhuluma ngasesibili ukuthi ubani owadubula noma ukuthi uKelly owadubula awukwazi lokho wawungaphandle endlini.
Ngingasho ukuthi nobe kuthiwa ubani owayesendlini angibonanga, not specifically to Kelly kulabo ababesendlini.
I would say that whoever it was that was inside the house, not specifically Kelly, but from those that were in the house, I don't know, I didn't see.
Ngoba akusakhona umaka Kelly, khona uZandi, khona suspect number 1, ukhona ngephumela.
Kelly's mother was there, Zandi was there, Kelly was there, suspect number 1, Umelo was also there.
But my question,
but the firearm, sorry?
Mr. Mthokozisi, let's learn to answer the question. I am asking, you did not see who fired the shot.
Awubonanga ubani owadubula.
Usubuza kahle ukuthi umention uKelly, so ube bias umention uKelly.
Now you're asking correctly because we're biased in specifically mentioning Kelly.
Yeah,
and leaving the others.
So the answer you did not see?
Yes.
But yes, I didn't. Yebo angibonanga.
Okay. You had said Mr. Longwe Thwala had ran out of the house and you also followed him. Am I correct?
Shilo ukuthi uLongwe waphumela ngaphandle wasumlandela ke nawe.
So Longwe Thwala is the first one who ran out of the house, okay?
Not that I followed him, but I ended up going out of the house.
Yes, that's why I asked the highest level of education, because I wanted to see the level of comprehension of this evidence. Longwe Thwala ran out first, you eventually followed to run out of the house, is that correct?
uLongwe ke umuntu oqala owaphuma washe nawe uyalandela ke uyaphumela ngaphandle.
Yebo ngagcina ngiphumile nami.
Yes, I ended up going out.
When you ran out of the house, did you see Longwe Thwala outside the house within the premises?
Sorry. Uma usubalekela ngaphandle ke egcekeni noma ngaphandle ke estradini wambona yini uLongwe Thwala?
Cha, ngibonanga.
No, I didn't see him.
Okay. And when you ran out. You said you ran out of Khumalo's premises into the street. Is that your evidence?
Waphuma ke uma usobaleka waphuma ke egcekeni la Khumalo wabalekela estradini.
Yebo.
Yes,
it's true.
That's true.
The witness, Ms. Nthabiseng Mukherhe, testified that he saw two people running on the streets.
Kobakhe ke ubufakazi uNthabiseng yena uthi ke wabona abantu ababili bebaleka estradini.
Was it possibly
Yes.
you and the second intruder?
Sorry.
Was it possibly you and the second intruder?
Engabe mhlambe kwakuwena kanye nalo wesibili. Sorry.
I think that question is with the greatest of respect, I think it might be misleading because she testified that the persons ran in the direction of the park, and that's not what this witness did.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, my lord. The evidence of Ms. Nthabiseng, my lord, is that the two people ran towards the left-hand side of Ngashe's homestead.
It's actually three.
Sorry, my lord?
It's actually three.
Yes,
I was
yes.
following the evidence.
Yes, my lord, but right now I was referring the witness to the two. Yes. According to my understanding of Ms. Nthabiseng's evidence, my lord, is that they ran towards the left-hand side when they moved out of Mr. Khumalo's homestead.
Yes.
Which is the direction that was testified by Ms. Nthabiseng, my lord.
Towards the park.
Towards the park, yes. But for the witness, it was to the left-hand side.
Fine.
Outside of Khumalo's homestead, because he won't know whether he was proceeding to the park or what.
Okay, fine. You can pose that question.
Thank you, my lord.
What's the question?
The witness, Ms. Nthabiseng, testified that he saw two people running towards the left-hand side on the street in the vicinity where she was sitting in the car opposite Ngashe's homestead. She saw two people running down the street.
Kobakhe ke ubufakazi Nthabiseng wabona ke abantu ababili bebaleka emgaqweni la awehlezi khona ke phakathi emotweni futhi bebalekela ke ngakuhlangothi la ngaku left.
Do you understand?
I understand. I know I'm not supposed to ask questions. Uthe uNthabiseng uhlala opposite nakangashe.
Did you say that he stays opposite the Ngashes? I just want to.
The evidence of Ms. Nthabiseng is that she was at the car.
Yes.
Standing in the vicinity of Khumalo's neighbor, precisely opposite Ngashe's homestead.
La eyayimi khona ke le moto le athi wayehlezi kuyona uNthabiseng yayimi opposite kwaNgatshe. La kuhlala khona ke komakhumalo but imi opposite kwaNgatshe.
Angeke ngazi ke noma wayibona mina ngangagijimi naye kanje angimshiya mina ngigijima ngedwa yena engilandela ngemuva futhi mina ngajomba la igate ngelincane ngaphandle ukuthi imoto yayibheke angazi ukuthi imoto yayibheke ngakuphi. That's would be another question engawubuza ukuthi yayibheke ngakuphi imoto plus mina ngibaleka ngayo ngasepark ngaphuma la egatini ngangena egatini duze kwegate lala kaNgashe.
I don't know whether she was seeing me, and the other thing is that I was not running with the person. I was ahead and the person was following me, and I did not run towards the park. I ran and I jumped the small gate at the Ngashes. The other thing or the other question that one needs to ask is to whether which direction was the car facing.
And also Mr. Mthokozisi, Mr. Longwe Thwala, who ran out of the house first, you don't know whether he ran out to the street or what happened to him.
Futhi ke ngathi ephuma ke endlini esebaleka ke Mthokozisi uLongwe awazi nokuthi wabaleka wangena estartini noma wabaleka waya kwenzekani ngayo.
Yebo uqinisile.
Yes, that's true.
But according to your evidence, the three people who ran out of the house, it was Mr. Longwe Thwala, yourself, and the so-called second intruder.
Kodwa ke ngobufakazi nje bakho kuphela ke abantu abawu3 abaphuma ke begijima ke noma bebaleka endlini kwakuLongwe Thwala kwakuwena nalo othi kwaku owesibili.
Yebo.
Yes.
True.
Okay. When you ran out now of out of Khumalo's homestead, did you see if Longo Thwala was there on the road?
Ngathi usuphuma ke manje la kwaKhumalo ke ubaleka ke ngabe wabona yini ukuthi uLongo wayikhona lapha emgaqweni?
Hayi, angimbonanga.
No, I didn't see him.
Okay. Let's go to his statement that he made. A7. Can I ask that I be assisted, my lord, with the statement of the witness A57? I just want to refer this witness to one paragraph in that statement A57. I've numbered the statement A57. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, my lord, I have numbered mine, but that one is not numbered. You will skip. Yes. Paragraph 8, which reads as follows, my lord. I ran out of the gate, turned left, looking for the boys. Can you see that one?
It's not. Go up. It's not here. Oh, sorry. 8. Out.
Do you see that paragraph? Maybe it's not numbered, but it starts with the word I ran out. Okay. Can I just read the whole paragraph into the record? Then I will ask you a question regarding the content of that paragraph. My lord, it's paragraph 8. I read, my lord, into the record.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi awuzange umbone ngaphakathi egcekeni nangaphandle kumphuma ngithi uLongwe.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay. But there was nobody. I then heard a gunshot, 2 loud ones. The third one was not loud. I cannot say it was a gunshot or not. I had my phone with me, but battery was low. After gunshot, I decided to run back to the house. I didn't get back to the house immediately. I was standing on the street for plus or minus 30 seconds. I was confused, not sure whether I must go back or not. I must run. Thereafter, I decided to go back to the house.
Ngabaleka ke ngaphuma ngegate ngathena ku left ngibheka ke abafana ababejwayele noma babevamise ukuthi bahlale ke lapho ekhoneni kodwa kwakungenamuntu ngase ngizwa ke ukuqhuma kwesibhamu amahlandla amabili elesithathu ke ihlandla lalengazange lisho ke bange umsindo ke angeke ngisho ke noma kwaku yisibhamu noma cha ngangine phone yami mina kodwa ke ibhetri yayo yayi low emuva ke ukuthi isibhamu saqhuma ngathatha isinqumo ke sokuthi ngibalekeke ngibuyele endlini angizange ngibuyele ngaleso sikhathi noma ngaleso sikhathi ngema ke ama seconds awu30 ngangididekile ngingazi ke noma ngenaso isiqiniseko sokuthi ngibuyele noma ngibaleke emuva kwalokho ngathatha isinqumo ke sokuthi ngibuyele endlini.
Close court, my lord. Did you understand what I've read to you?
Yes.
Did you see him, Mr. Longwe Thwala, standing on the street?
Wambone Mr.
njengoba sengishilo ukuthi angikhumbuli ngimbona.
As I've already said that I don't remember seeing him.
And Longwe says, I decided to go back to the house. It is your evidence that you can't recall if he came back or not.
Yebo, uyibona bami.
That is my evidence.
Was Longwe present when you carried the deceased to the car?
Hayi ngikhumbula sisizo lonke thina siqubula umuntu.
No, I don't remember Longwe assisting us in picking up the deceased.
Okay. Did you see, Longwe says he drove with Khumalo to the hospital.
Longwe uthi ke wahamba noMkhumalo ukuya esibhedlela.
Did you see that?
Wakubona lokho?
Ake ngize ngikubone ngoba phela ngisengihambile mina.
I would not have seen it because I had already left.
Okay. Let's now move on to back into the house. After the first suspect, first intruder, okay, after Longwe Thwala had ran out of the house, is there anyone who moved away from the lounge or from the area, whether it's a lounge or whether it's a passage, but where the incident was taking place? Is there any person who moved away from that area? Except Mr. Longwe Thwala.
Emuva kokuthi uLongwe sephumileke endlini ngabe ukhona yini kulabo abasala ke ngasemuva ke owasuka ke kuleyo ndawo leyo noma kuse lounge noma kuse passage kodwa owasuka khona lapho?
Mawuthi wasuka as in kulabantu ababesendlini.
Yes.
Referring to the people that were in the house.
Yes.
Umuntu engamkhumbula wayemile uKheli. uKheli engamkhumbula ukuthi yena wabaleka ngiyacabanga ukuthi wabaleka wangena kulesicapha but kulabo ababese dining ngoba uKheli wayemile not far from a passage ukuthi nje just next to it uyena lapho umuntu engasi ukuthi owabaleka lapho but thina la ngaphakathi akekho wasuka.
The only person that I remember who was standing at the time was Kelly in the passage next to where the heater was, and she just moved and ran into the bedroom that was close there. But amongst us who were seated there, no one moved.
Okay, and that happened before the shot was fired? First shot was fired? Yes. Okay. Kelly has ran away into the bedroom, whichever bedroom, and then all of you remained there.
Yes,
but
not that we remained. There was that scuffle that happened.
Sitting room, yeah.
It was in the sitting room, yes.
Up until the first gunshot was fired.
No.
Yes.
Kwaba khona iscuffle esaya ekitchen isibhamu sokuqala saqhuma ekitchen.
Yes.
There was a scuffle that led to the kitchen.
I would say dining.
The first shot went off in the kitchen, not in the dining room.
You were all there except for Kelly, who had ran out into the bedroom.
Ngingasho ukuthi except for uLongwe.
I would say that except for
because
Longwe.
Kelly was still in the house waphuma uvese kamereni noma ngasamkhumbuli yena kahle but wayekhona naye lapho.
Because at some point Kelly came out of the bedroom, although I can't remember specifically when exactly, but she was also there.
Okay, let's correct the record now. Just tell the court what you saw. If you did not see, let us not speculate. You said Miss Kelly Khumalo ran into the bedroom, and the scuffle took place in the kitchen when Kelly was in the bedroom. Is that your evidence?
Ngifuna ke manje silungiseke irecord ngoba ke uKelly ke wabaleka kwangena ekamereni. Kwase kwenzeka ke iscuffle ke le scuffle senzeka khona lapha yana ke ekitchen akekho uKelly usekamereni.
ngakho ngisho ukuthi ngesikhathi isikafula siqala ukhelwa esekhishi ukhelwa esekamereni kodwa isiqhubekelo isikafula ukhelwa aphuma ekamereni kwena ngichazayo nje lokho.
What I'm explaining or what I'm saying is that when the scuffle started, Kelly was in the bedroom, but as the scuffle proceeded or went on, at some point Kelly came out of the bedroom.
Okay. When Kelly ran into the bedroom, did he run into the bedroom? Did he take her children with her when he ran into the bedroom?
Uma esebalekela khona ke ekamereni wayithatha ingane zakhe wabalekela nazo kulelo kamera lelo.
I don't think wayezokwazi ukuthatha ingane zakhe yokuqala eyodwa isekamereni ilele eyesibili yayila phambi kwethu umuntu mayengena ungena la eduze kwakhe so I don't think sasikhona isikhathi sokuthi agijima uthatha ingane yakhe isekamereni.
I don't think she would have been able to do that, or there would have been time for her to do that. The other child was in the bedroom sleeping. The other child was right here where this was happening.
So what's the answer? The answer is that she did not take her child and ran with her child into the bedroom. Am I correct?
So ke lonke ke impendulo lapho ithi akazange abaleke nengane ekamereni.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay. Can you proceed, my lord?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Now, the shot is being fired wherever you were in the house. After the shot was fired, is there anyone who ran out of the house after that? After the first shot was fired.
Emuva kokuthi ke sesiqhumileke isibhamu kokuqala ke ukhona yini ke owabaleka kwaphuma endlini emuva kokuthi sesiqhumile kokuqala?
Yebo khona.
Yes, there is.
Who?
Or there was. Ubani?
Imi.
It's me.
Okay. Is there anyone other than you who ran away from the place, the scene wherein, I think you said the scuffle was at the kitchen by that time, whether it was at the kitchen or at the passage, other than you, before leaving the room, did you see anyone running away from that spot?
Sorry, which one of the two spots? The kitchen or the passage?
It may be the kitchen, it may be the spot, according to his evidence. But when the shot was fired, other than the witness who ran out, did you see if there is anyone also who ran away of that spot?
Ngaphandle kwakho ke nanjengoba ushilo ukuthi wena ke waphuma ngaphandle kwakho kukhona omunye owambona nje esuka lapho kuleyo ndawo leyo eyenelise noma kwakuse kitchen noma kwakuse passage.
Angazi noma ngizothi running away noma following me kodwa number 2 lo muntu.
I don't know whether to say running away or following me, but it was number 2, the tall one.
Uyena kuwangilandela loyo waphuma engambone ephuma nami.
He followed me, he's the one that I saw going out with me.
But the rest, you left them inside the house. Is that your evidence?
Yeah, but that's true.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. And then Miss Zandile Khumalo, when he testified, my lord, on the, we have a transcript, my lord. I'm not sure whether the court does have the copies.
No, you can read
fine.
from it.
I'll just read. Thank you, my lord. I'll just read. On the appearances for the 18th of July 2023, Ms. Khumalo testified. And on page 52, my lord, of the transcript, Ms. Khumalo, my lord, on line number 19, he testified and said, when I heard that hitting the floor, it so happened that Tumelo also had it, so that we had the same thing. I ran into the bathroom and he ran into the bedroom. Close quote, my lord.
Lana ke akufundayo ke iloko ubufakazi bakhe ke uZandile Khumalo bange 18 July ubona ke lonyaka ku page 52 ku line 19 la athi khona ke wathi umebuzwa ke lokho kushaya phansi ke kwathi ke kanti noTumelo ukuzwile ukuthi bezwe into eyodwa noma bezwa into eyodwa wase yena ke Zandile baleke ngene ebathroom yena kuTumelo wabaleka ngena kwelinye ikamera.
Did you see them running into, specifically I'm referring to Miss Zandile Khumalo who had testified. Did you see her running into the bathroom?
Ngabe wambona yini uZandile balekele bathroom?
After the first shot was fired.
Emuva ukuthi isaphuma ukuqala isibhamu.
Ngicanga ngizange ngize ngimbone ngoba mina ngingabaleka ngaphuma so
I didn't see her because I also ran out.
angangakubona wangaphambi kwami mehlami.
I could only see that was in front of me, in front of my eyes.
And also, it is the evidence of Ms. Zandile Khumalo that 3 shots were fired inside the house. And you testified that only 2 that were fired. Which one is correct?
Ubufakazi bukaZandile ukuthi yena ke wasizwa isibhamu qhuma kade amahlandla amathathu. Wena ke kuba kubufakazi uthi saqhuma kabili isibhamu yiphi ke ekuyiyona.
Mina engakuzwe ngizwile lokho kuziwa uZandi nayo kuziwa uZandi.
I heard what was heard by uZandi, that is what she heard.
Okay, I understand why you could hear differently and why you could observe differently. Let's go back to the time when you went to the tavern and bought alcohol. You remember that time? Before the incident? It is your evidence that after buying this alcohol, can I ask that the pictures for all the pictures of the alcohol be referred to this witness? I think it's 114 up to 121 or 120 if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Sibanda. Before this incident, you were enjoying yourself, eating and drinking alcohol.
Yes.
And also watching soccer, watching match on the television.
Yebo.
Yes.
And it is your evidence that you only consumed, you said 2.5 or 3? Just
2.5. 3.
Not go to 3, 2.5.
I just want to show you all these pictures. The reason why I'm showing you these pictures, it's because this is the only evidence that was found by the police when they arrived at the scene.
Ngikhombisa lokho ngoba uphela kobufakazi ke lo obathola amaphoyisa nkathi befika lapha kwindawo yesigameko.
Okay. You see?
Yes, ngiyabona.
Yes, I see.
You said you consumed what? Hunter's Gold. Forgive me if maybe I don't see it there. Do you see it there?
It's not there.
Okay. And at the time when you left the house, you left all the cans that you had consumed inside the house. Is that correct?
Yes.
At the time when you were consuming alcohol inside the house, could you see if there was anyone who will pick up the empty cans, go and throw them outside?
Ngathi nanihlezi niphuza ke lapho ngabe khona yini umuntu owambona owayeqoqa lawo makanda lawo naniphuza ngawo ahambeke ayowalahlela ngaphandle noma ayolahlela emqomeni?
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi angeke ngisho ukuthi khona ngambona kodwa sasingesizohlala igcwele amakani kukhona umuntu omdala.
I think so, but I don't think that there's someone that I saw, but I also think that there's no way we would have just left the cans there unattended with an elderly person in our midst.
Okay, but you did not see anyone.
Yeah.
Yes, I.
Okay.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi lo boqala wayenama dreadlocks efake isigqoko.
Yebo.
Yes.
Ubufakazi bami.
That's my evidence.
So his head was covered.
Ukusho ukuthi ikhanda lakhe lamboziweke.
Ikhanda lanibhuziwe.
Yeah, because he had dreads.
Yes, the head was covered, but you could see, or you were able to see the dreadlocks.
Okay, can you just describe how was the dreadlocks that you saw?
Aye kanjani ama dreadlocks?
My dreads ayevela la. Nje begqoka isigqoko. Ngicanga ngofaka isigqoko. My dreadlocks azovela la.
They were ayevela here.
In your case, now I did lapho usufaka isigqoko nje.
They were coming on side by side.
Yes, side by side.
Yes.
Ufaka isigqoko mina ngibona la ngaphambili kwami ngithi so obvious azophetrude la.
Because I saw the person in front of me, so obviously they would protrude from the sides.
And also he was wearing a hat.
Yes.
Yes.
Did he have any gold?
Gold? No, I don't remember.
Okay. And his dreadlocks were not tied at the back?
They were
loose.
ngiyacabanga ukuthi ayilusi ngoba kuba iboshiwe kwangeke ngibabone phela lapho nesigqoko angeke azasifake.
I think they will lose because if they were tied, then I would not have been able to see them, or he would not even have put on a hat.
Could you see or did not see?
Wakubona noma awuzange ukubona?
Ukuthini?
Whether
What?
they were loose or they were tied.
Ukuthi ayeboshiwe noma
Dreadlocks.
ayelusi.
Njengoba ngichaza ukuthi la obvious la awaboshiwe la ivele khona la kuyena. So esigqokeni ngeke ngize ngibone ngoba ufaka isigqoko nje.
Yeah, where they were protruding, they were loose. Then obviously where the hat was, then I was in no position to see whether they were tied or not.
In other words, you could not see his face properly because there were dreadlocks on his head and he also had a hat.
Ukusho ukuthi ubuso bakhe ke wangekho kusimisa ukuthi ungabona ke ngoba wayena dreadlocks futhi ke efaka isigqoko.
Ngizongamboni kanjani ngoba phela ubuso buyavela.
How
Ngoba phela
how would that have been not been possible because the face could see or appear.
Let's move on to the identification parade now. From the observation that you saw, it is your evidence that when you attended the identification parade at GP, if I'm not wrong, you could not identify anyone.
Uma ngenza iphutha ke kule yase GP ID parade awuzange ukhombe umuntu kuleyo.
yebo kuyiqiniso
That's
lokho.
true, yes.
And also in the identification parade that you attended in Pietermaritzburg, it is your evidence that you did not identify anyone.
Nase Pietermaritzburg futhi awuzange ukhombe umuntu.
Ngakho umuntu with similar features but
Yeah.
ngisho ukuthi kagcine yeah.
You have
I
testified
pointed out
that,
someone with similar features.
yeah, you have testified that you've corrected that and you
Okay.
told them you did not mean that. That's why I'm
Yeah.
wrapping it up to
All
say
right.
it means you did not point out anyone. You did
Ukusho
not
ukuthi awuzange
identify
ukhombe
anyone.
umuntu.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay. The reason why you could not identify anyone, it is because when the incident took place, you had taken alcohol. That is why you couldn't see properly.
Imbangela ke noma izathu sokuthi ke ungazange ukhombe umuntu ingoba nkathi ke isigameko lesi senzeka ke awuphuze utshwala.
Yebo qinisela ngiphuzile amakana awu2 eHunters Gold kodwa ngangibona kahle kabi.
Yes, you are right. I drank 2 cans of Hunter's Gold, but I could see clearly.
And you want this court to believe that the intruder you saw was carrying firearm when you cannot even tell what part of the firearm you saw, which makes you to say it was a firearm.
Ufuna futhi lenkantolo ikholweke noma yamukeleke lokho kushoyo ukuthi wabona umuntu ophethe.
Thank you, Madam. When I was asking you about the language that was spoken by the intruder, you remember that portion? You said Zandi was here, you had her, meaning me, I had her Zulu, so it means we were watching her testimony.
Kunento ikhulumileke ukuthi uZandi ebela umzwile uZandi uma ekhuluma uzwile isiZulu sakhe okusho ukuthi ubufakazi bakho bubhekile. Ngathi nikeza ngobufakazi obubhekile.
Njengoba kangishilo angililandeli icala ngisaphinde ngiyasho.
Yeah, it's a misunderstanding. I listen intently. This witness was explaining that if you are Zulu speaking and you come from Nkandla,
Yes.
Senqutu,
Yes.
you can go on and on. Your Zulu will be different in tonality from that which is spoken in Johannesburg. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, I did say
Yes.
that, but I understand what she is saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
Referring to Zandile speaking inside the house. Is that what?
Yes, that's true. That's
Yeah,
what I want
please.
to
Let's listen.
clarify ukuthi uZandi njoba yela uZandi phela angimqali ngiyamazi. So ngiyasazi isiZulu sakhe.
I
So
know
I refer
Zandi.
ukuthi la enkantolo because that would make sense kunina ngoba senimzwile isiZulu sakhe njengoba nisizwa nesami. So uZandi sengihlalile na ngiye ngahlala naye prior before so ngiyasazi isiZulu sakhe ukuthi sikanjani.
I know Zandi,
But icala angililandeli ngisasho namanje. I
I'm
don't
still
follow the
saying
case.
I don't follow the case, but I was making it easy. I was making reference to you. That is now in the plural. That I spent time with Zandi, so I know how she speaks. This is Zulu.
Thank you, my
So
lord.
that
I've
is what
got
I
no
meant.
further questions.
Yes, any